So today you're going to start out with the ball maze template with cover. Remember that you have the criteria that I am going to show you, along with that your design will need to be the exact size of this original. To do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on where it says copy and tinker. That will give me the base of the maze that I need. So as you can see, first off, I have it called Copy of Ball Maze. So I'm just going to change the name first to Ball Maze and my name. Because when we get to the point of printing, it's going to be very important that it is labeled correctly. All right, so I've got my label correct. Now I'm going to just get a little bit closer so that you can see what I'm working on. You can see that I already have the start and finish cutout. Now I need to decide where I want the start and finish cutout. Okay, so that's going to be my first design choice. Okay, I don't want mine to be exactly the same as everyone else's, so I'm going to move it around a little bit. Now, the next criteria is that I have to build a path using the walls and the shape. So to do that, I tap on one wall, and I go up here next to the trash can, and it allows me to duplicate the wall. Now I have another wall that I can size, and if I move the bottom by mistake, I just tap. Be patient with yourself. And I can size, I can turn it, and then I can move it. And this is going to be, for some of us who are new to this, just give yourself some grace, okay? I'm just making sure that it looks pretty connected after I have it done, okay? So now I'm going to continue to do my walls and shapes, and I might add a random shape into it. Like, let's say I want a star in my design. So I might add this in as part of the challenge that you have to navigate in my maze. The one thing that I want to make sure is that I get it so that it is in the maze correctly and that I can navigate around it. So I might want to take the ball and just make sure that it can actually fit. So that would be super tight. So then I might need to move it a little bit. But when I am finished, I will have a maze with at least one working path. I also want to have a few dead ends. So a dead end in a maze looks sort of like this. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to just move. So it basically puts you in a spot where you can't finish the maze. Like you get stuck. Okay? So that's for my first step. Obviously, I'm going to take a little bit more time, and I'm going to finish out my path. The next criteria is that where it says your name, and I'm going to just get closer, and then I'm going to pull this down. I am going to add my name. Okay, that is part of the criteria for a mastery maze. So, last thing I have to do is I have to merge the walls. So I am not really familiar with how to merge walls. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the directions to see. It says merge all the walls to maze base following the below steps. First, do a check to see if all the walls and objects are inside the maze. Right now, mine are. I'm not finished, but if I were finished, that would be my first thing. Then make sure that nothing is below the build plate. Okay, so nothing is underneath. Now, here's what it would look like if it was underneath. You would sort of, you would see the piece protruding out of the bottom. Now, you can either play around and get it back, or you can just click on the one that is wrong and delete it and then do it again. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to the side view. And it says next zoom out to see the entire maze from the top. Okay, so here's the entire maze from the top. Click and drag from the top left to the bottom right to select all the walls and the base of the maze. Okay, so first I'm going to get my ball out of here because I don't want my ball being in here. Ball, you have to move. Sometimes things are a lot easier said than done. All right, I'm going to just delete my ball because in the end I'm not going to use my ball. I've already tested that the ball goes through. So I am now going to go from the top left to the bottom right. Easier said than done. And you guys are going to do this way easier than me. Okay. Perseverance, Hutner. Alright, what's this do? No, that's not what I want to do. Alright. Now, you can see that I'm struggling. I would try to do select all if I knew how. So I'm supposed to be able to, so I'm going to just try something different instead, just because I can't do it. But I should be able to group all of the objects together. So one of the things that I do know how to do is I know how to lock it into place so that it doesn't move. So if I can't group all of my shapes, the other thing that I can do is I can lock them in, which will then make sure that they don't move on me. Okay, so either way, if you can figure out how to group everything, or if you can figure out how to lock it in, that is going to be really important as you're designing, but also when you're finished. The last few steps, I will show you how to export it. But you'll notice that in Tinkercad, it auto-saves. So when I exit out, as long as I am in my account, it will save so that I can come back and do it some more. So I can just tap on it, tinker this again, and I can come back and continue to work on it. Now, your constraints are that you will only have the time in class. This is the type of project that you could do and it could take you days. That is not the goal of this project. The goal of this project is for you to build a working maze, as basic as it can be or as complicated as it can be, within 30 minutes, which is a class period.